Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate? Happy Monday.
Morning. Happy Monday. I am good. I will be going back to diving. I haven't dove in the last 3 or 4 days, just been catching up on life and doing stuff for the financial summit that is just over a month away. And Matt, how are your workouts going?
Yeah, it's been really great. I got there's a great comment like a week ago because I was overtraining and I was just killing my body. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm fighting in the karate combat in Denver on the 28th of this month. So I've just been getting in shape. But the guy I'm fighting was like 203 pound, 302 pound, and I was 170 pound, and we're sort of meeting in the middle at 185 pound. And the hardest thing has been trying to put on sort of 15 kilos. Like I'm not naturally that big. And putting on 15 kilos in like 3 weeks of just eating and eating and eating. So I'm not feeling as good as I could be feeling, to be honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is the website for Karate Combat, and I plan to be there supporting Matt. I'm not. It's unlikely I'm gonna attend the Ethereum conference, but I may not even make it there in time for that. But I will be ringside um, for the fight.
That fight right there, the bantamweight world championship, that's the headlining fight of the pro fighters, and I'm headlining the influencer fight night. That guy on the left there, that Vergara, he's a machine. He's a fantastic fighter. He's never lost in the karate combat. It's going to be a classic. Classic.
Cool.
All
All
right.
right. Let's talk charts, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand the screen share back to you.
All right. Terrific. All right. Terrific. Let me get into it. All right. Look, I'm in a trade right now from 97.035. It's the same reason I put the trade on is quite clear why I put the trade on. It's the same reason I had made a few attempts at this in the past. I'm in the 15-minute time frame now, but it'll look easier. It'll look even more obvious on the 4-hour when I go into it. But just a break of that descending line that we'd been putting in. Although this one, look, I'm not that confident in this trade because when I went into the trade, we had actually put in like a low. Like it wasn't as though, even though the candle closes kind of look like a higher low, we had actually put a swing low in just very, very like within. This is the 4-hour. Sorry, this is the 4-hour. What am I talking about? Just 4 to 8 hours prior to me entering this trade, we had put in a swing low. So I do like the break of this descending line, or whatever you want to call it, not a triangle, but a line. And I do like that the 4-hour are, the EMAs are rising and crossing. Okay. All that's good. All that's good stuff. And even just now we've had the close above the 50. I like all that. I like the MRI count. That's why I went long on this trade. But we'll see what happens when market opens because it wasn't a good close to the week, and we'll see that as we go up the time frame. But yeah, look, I'm long, so we'll see how it goes. 10x leverage long, in fact. So this is like the definition of doing nothing, going nowhere and going nowhere fast. But inside, I don't think I've ever seen that before, Tone. Like I'm on the daily time frame right now. I don't think I've ever seen 1, 2, 3, 4 dragonfly dojis, whatever you want to call them. Death, what are they called? Tone, what do you call them? Tombstone dojis or something.
They're kind of different, right? Like some are dragonflies, some are regular dojis, some are tombstone dojis. So it's just dojis, 4 dojis on a daily candles in a row. That is strange.
Yeah.
But again, it's not as strange now that there's options trading because I keep saying Max Payne is in the same area every single week. So there you go.
Yeah. No doubt about it. But I mean, even inside some of these dojis were like 4,500, 4 and nearly 5% moves. So I mean, there was some movement inside the day, but just to finish like this, tonk, it, and then we're working on it again right now. It's until this day closes, it could be just the same. So we'll see. That's not a confident move, but I get the feeling like I get the feeling people are just waiting to see what's happening, just because we're still inside that Tones perfect little no trade zone, which I really think is smart, real smart. And unless you're a maniac like me, I think that you should follow that. This is a no trade zone. I just keep trying to catch these moves, and I keep catching them, and then getting out and getting out and getting out and getting out, and not making any money. But I think a lot of people are waiting to see, can this recover? If this recovers, it'll recover like wildfire. Bang! We start to get above 100,000 again. She's off. But I think the same thing applies to the downside. We start to get below 95, and it's not going to be looking pretty. So I think that the smart money is probably just seeing what happens. Weekly time frame. Where did we close the week? Kind of badly, really. In Friday's show, we were looking all right. To be honest, we were up at 99, and I thought, look, if we can close above the 7 simple moving average here, we're above all the moving averages. All right, let's talk. This is not too bad. As this day has opened and this week is open on the same day, we have come up now and almost touched on the 7. I need to see a confident clearing of that. Otherwise, my money's on it comes up and hits the 7 and then fades and continues the downwards trend. So I know that sounds counterintuitive because I'm in a trade, but I'm not confidently in a trade right now. I'm just in a trade. I probably won't hold it. I won't hold it through the night, So if it comes down and gets me out at break even. So we'll see. It is just the middle of nowhere. So there's nothing else to say. The good news is the Socrates' EXA here is starting to get to that really interesting spot where it's just been a flat line down on the weekly time frame. And let's just go back and review when that first crossed on this candle back in mid-December. And I was pointing that out for a really long time. Like, this thing crosses at this really high vantage point. I just like Tone calling a top around this, or not the exact top, but a point where he was happy to get out of. Maybe it was around 97, around the same price we're at right now. I said at that time, like, you could just get out now and just wait until this thing crosses bullish again. And that probably would have been a better move to have made, because this has come right down. It had a few kinks in it, like it just did back on the way out. But like, let's see how low we can get this. Like, the lower we get it, the better in many ways. So if we can push this out another 2 weeks and get all the way down to like a -2.5, -3, then get a good break to the upside, man, we could be looking at one of these, which just carries us, from here to here. I know people hate to say here to here, but from September to December. Nice. Let's do that. And we'll just keep an eye on it as we go on. The copy curve is fine. It is rounding back down, but I could see this rounding back off. It's okay. It's just, it did get overheated. Divergence or whatever. There's no divergence. I don't see any divergence, even though there was a higher high here on the in January than there was back in December. To call that a divergence, yeah, maybe it is classical divergence, but I just like that the RSI has come back down, even though we're still in that good range, in that 90 to 100,000 range, $108,000 range. Having that RSI cool off, we can bang it back up to the upside and get plenty of more steam. Once we are way, overcooked, above 80, 82, it can stay above that forever. There's no reason why not, but it doesn't tend to do that. So, all right, I'm coming back to you right now, my friend. I am not any more confident than I was last week, but I am in a trade, so we'll see how it goes. Tomorrow, I might be out or I might be happy. We'll see. Please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Happy Monday and all the rest. All the links in the description below. Tone, how are we looking?
All right. Well, let's go and take a look. I was just pulling up my gold chart.
Nice. Wish that was Bitcoin.
So real quick on gold before I forget, and then we go to Bitcoin. Something really interesting is happening here. So I'm going to go up the time frames. Here is gold on the yearly time frame. And the chart is showing that this is likely to be the year where gold has a significant top. And the year has just begun, right? So we are only in February. So we got time. Now, what about the monthly chart? Well, that's interesting, right? So next month, we will have a monthly MRI gold top. So we got about little under 3 weeks to go, 2.5 weeks. February is also a short month. So next month is going to be an MRI top. Well, what about the weekly? So the weekly is 3 weeks away from an MRI top. So we are about to have a weekly MRI top in the very beginning of March, inside a monthly MRI top, inside the annual MRI top. And on a daily scale, we certainly have plenty of time. Wow, we're almost look at that. On a daily scale, we're on an MRI top right now. So what am I expecting? We were on an MRI top on Friday. This is Friday. No, this is Monday's candle. This is today's candle. This is today's candle already because it's the futures market. So we have a blow off MRI top today. So I am expecting gold to top today or tomorrow, looking for a 1 to 4 candle pullback. This is a very interesting trade. Even has some short trade potential, but there will probably be more MRI tops matching us with the weekly MRI top that's coming in 3 weeks. We can look at other obscure time frames. I'm just curious what the 3 month looks like. Let's go to the quarterly chart and look at that. The quarterly is also on an MRI top. So now you have the annual this year, the monthly next month, sorry, the quarterly this quarter, the monthly next month. So the monthly will be inside the quarterly MRI top. This is just massive MRI tops everywhere. 4 month, 4 month is coming next candle for an MRI top, and the 6 month. Oh boy, isn't this crazy?
It's crazy, mate. And it doesn't. I wouldn't be shorting that for money, right? But if you were back long for if you've been long for 5 years or something, or 2 years or a year or whatever, it might be nice to lighten up for sure, right?
I completely agree, but I actually think it is shortable. I do think it's shortable as long as it's not leverage short. I think there is a potential short there. Like look at the last two daily MRI tops. Probably not going to happen today, but maybe tomorrow. But the real short is coming later this year. That's going to be the real short. Like maybe in a month or two. I mean, imagine if gold goes to 3,400, 3,300. Imagine if we just get this exponential rise. It's already on that trajectory. So let's see what happens. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. Let's
Definitely.
go to the Bitcoin chart, the Bitcoin monthly chart. I still think this month has a high probability of closing green for the month. It has been a struggle, but I do think there's a high probability we will close the month above 103,000, which means that we would be right at the top of my no trading range. Right now, we're at the bottom of the no trading range. So those that are interested in trading the range, definitely more bullish than bearish at the moment within the range. But in general, it's a no trade zone. Ideally, we do stay in the zone a few more weeks so that we get a proper test of the 20-period moving average. We reset some of the indicators and then break out of this range sometime in the middle of next month. That's basically the more ideal scenario. I also don't like to see breaks above the top of the range from the bottom of the range. So we did, so we should probably hit, have a fake breakout, but off the fake breakout, we should not flirt with the downside of the range either, especially the wide mouth pattern. So after we flirt with the breakout and maybe head fake a breakout with yet another green star candle, the downside should keep us above 100. We shouldn't go below the middle of the range. If the middle of the range now holds up the price, that creates a much better opportunity for being confident in the price breaking out to the upside. Daily chart, crazy 4 dojis in a row, but it ended with an MRI buy. And the best part about the MRI buy is that it actually had a scare to the downside. I wasn't crazy scared to the downside because of the MRI buy opportunity. So this gave me confidence that, hey, this candle is more likely to reverse than it would have had this been February 4th or February 5th. And now what needs to happen, and again, like 3-4 days ago, I was saying, hey guys, we have a window of just 24 to 36 hours to reverse the price. We missed that window, obviously, because we stayed down below 97 for the rest of the week. So now we are significantly weaker. So what do I expect from this MRI top candle? MRI buy candle at the low? I'm honestly only expecting a 1 to 4 candle correction into the area of resistance of 99,000. And then I'm expecting more downside. How significant will the downside be? Will it take us, back to 92, creating a very scary situation? I mean, if we do go back to 92, at least we will have the 128-day moving average as support. But at the same time, we're going to be at this level for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 8. So the eighth time at this level, and that creates a very scary scenario. So you want to avoid that at all costs. And but I also kind of want to avoid this cluster of support at 96. So what is the best case scenario here? And the base case scenario is to get a really strong 1 to 4 candle correction, something that takes us past 101, maybe even into 102, maybe get rejected by this MRI resistance line that's now forming at 102.5. And then you have enough wiggle room to the downside to have that correction without flirting with 96 and keeping us above 98. So if we can have, even on a low slope, higher low, that sets us up very nicely. But either way, I am not expecting breakouts above that 105 zone. I'm not expecting that for at least a month. That's my expectation now. My expectation is more consolidation, and if we're lucky, we avoid sub 92 lows, and we have to get very lucky to break out above 105 this month. So I have a very neutral stance on Bitcoin with a very, very minor bullish bias. Very, very minor bullish bias. But if we are anywhere near 92, if we are, let's say, go below this yesterday's low, I become a massive, massive pessimist. This is what we have to avoid at all costs. So that's basically my overview of Bitcoin. I'm gonna enjoy life on this beautiful island and just not even think about Bitcoin and wait for the no trade zone to completely play itself out. Here's an example of what it looks like with a 1 to 4 candle correction of MRI tops. This was another MRI top that was kind of consolidated. We had a 1 to 4 candle correction. It was 2 candles, the top candle and the candle after. This is the hourly chart. And the current candle is looking very good and very strong. I would love to see this candle close this way, but the market opens in 45 minutes, and that is absolutely no trade zone at market open every single day. That's my personal no trade zone at market open. If I go up to the 4-hour chart, that's a very bullish looking chart. Looks like the MRI top will come later today. We're coming off a green star candle. We got a current candle. It still has 2 hours plus 5 more candles. 5 times 4 is 20 hours. So then maybe not later today, but early at night. I mean, Matt's day tomorrow, and middle of the night for us here in the Americas. This could be strong, but let me see here. I'm drawing too many things. These potential upswing triangles have been terrible. They have not reached anything. I'm going to delete them. I'm going to draw a brand new line. Looks like we broke a very powerful trend line.
That's where I got long.
That's
why I got long, Tone. Exactly.
That is a very, very, very good sign here on the 4-hour chart. All the moving averages are rolling over. I'm going to delete this line as well. I'm going to delete this as well. So let's clean up this chart a smidge. I can delete this stuff as well. None of it matters anymore. There we go. There we go. All right. And I can delete this line as well. And even this one. Yeah, so I'm just deleting everything from here. All right, let's clean this up. So here's that 4-hour chart. We have an MRI resistance line at 105. We're probably going to reset this line once a new MRI top comes in. And yeah, let's actually, sorry, we need a new MRI buy to come in to replace this MRI top line. It looks very strong right now, but today's Monday. Let's see how the markets handle it. Speaking of markets, yeah, we are way underperforming when it comes to our cycle, and I think it'll stay that way for quite a while. Oil is holding steady at 71. Gold I already discussed. S&P 500, that's just a 10-minute look, not very interesting. Here's the daily chart. Friday was a big down day, helped drag Bitcoin down. Weekly chart on the S&P. Guys, for as much as everyone is scared shitless that the US markets are going to crash and Nvidia is going to go to zero and Chinese AIs are going to take over, we are literally right at an all-time high for the US stock market. So this is like, if you just look at the monthly chart, like what are we actually scared of here? And the answer is absolutely nothing. We're probably going to have an S&P blow off top. We've been consolidating since the green star candle. I think there's a high probability of a big breakout in the S&P, creating the next MRI top and a pullback. So I remain very, very bullish on the S&P here, and the futures markets are looking very, very strong. Yield curve. Oh, when is the next FOMC? Any big? What do we got here? Oh, we got CPI coming out. CPI coming out on Wednesday, something to definitely keep in mind, and PPI the next day. Important metrics. The next Fed looks like March 19th, and they're expecting no change. Okay, excellent. That's another thing to keep an eye on. And finally, I do want to glance at, this is iShares. Again, Max Payne's 55. We're at 55. We are on shitcoins. Just a sneak peek at Ethereum. Just like watching it go down. Ethereum dollar. I was about to say that chart looks way too bullish. Ethereum Bitcoin, that looks absolutely beautiful as it heads lower. Trump token, same thing, as it heads lower as it should. And what I really want to look at before we go is the US dollar. The US dollar has been pretty strong. I am a US dollar bull, and I'm expecting a massive breakout in the US dollar, and I am still expecting an outright collapse of the euro. And those of you that have watched my presentations over the years, you would know that a collapse of euro doubles the price of Bitcoin. Imagine the euro breaking up, and 80% of the countries in the European Union will now have a currency that closer resembles to the Turkish lira than the German Deutschmark. So
Can you
every
bring up the yen,
single
dude?
yeah, what's up?
Can you bring up the yen after
Sure.
USD yen?
So anticipate every Italian, every Greek, every Spaniard, any other country where you can retire at 32 years old and get paid the rest of your life for doing nothing. Their currencies are gonna completely collapse. plus 3-hour lunch times during the day. All those currencies will collapse when the euro breaks up, and all those people are going to be buying Bitcoin. Curious on the Brazilian real strengthening. Interesting. And the Japanese yen. What about your Aussie dollar? Hold on.
Yeah.
I can't see the full currencies. Here we go. Euro yen. I need US dollar yen. There's the US dollar yen. This was, the big scare that the yen is going to appreciate and the yen carry trade is going to kill us. And here we are going back into new lows on the yen before it strengthens. So, it looks like the yen will devalue more against the US dollar. I think everything will devalue against the US dollar. The Canadian dollar is a total mess as it goes to new all-time lows against the US dollar. And what else?
Yeah, the Aussie, AUD, USD, third from the top.
There it is.
Yeah.
The Australian dollar is dropping. So I know it's weird that some currencies I look at with the US dollar first and some currencies I look at with the US dollar second. I use the ISO, International Financial Convention, on currency hierarchy. And for some crazy reason, the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar are higher up the food chain than the US dollar, which is fucking weird. The only other currencies like that are the euro and the British pound. Maybe they're in alphabetical order, but
no, all the Commonwealth countries go first because we're the important countries.
Right. And I guess the hierarchy is alphabetical. So, well, no, then New Zealand is stuck up there. So anyway, it's weird. It's really weird. So the Australian dollar is devaluing against the US dollar, but
man, I remember when we were at parity. It's crazy. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, 2011. Very, very strange. I'm expecting DXY to go to unreasonable levels. This has been my projection for a long, long time. You can see my arrow here from 2014, where I expect the US dollar to be by the end of this decade. And I still believe we will get there. My trajectory is a little bit lower. COVID definitely hurt. The election of the US in 2020 definitely hurt the dollar strength. You can see the dollar collapsing in 2020. Go to my political channel to know why. And speaking of my personal channel, I did another interview here in Prospera. This is actually the apartment I'm staying in is right here, only on the opposite side of the building. So there's 2 apartments up here on the top floor. That's the rooftop. That's the pool. If I go to my window, I'm looking at this pool. From this balcony is just, a mirror image. So this is my balcony, but on the other side, there's only 2 apartments here that are above the pool, and I'm in this apartment on the other side of the building. So check out my latest interview about Prospera and why I canceled my Mexico trip, and I'm just staying here for 2 weeks. All right, speaking of, I need to run. I need to go back to diving, which is my new favorite hobby. All right, on this note, I'm going to call it a day. Guys, please like, subscribe. If you are watching us on Twitter or X, there's no video description. So you will have to head over to YouTube to look at the video description, and Matt's going to tell you all the cool stuff he puts there.
Oh, yeah. You got me for a second because it's the producer. But please like, subscribe, please share it with your friends. Great links in the description below for all the affiliates. We got BangBox has got a brand new website. It's in beta today. By the end of the week, it'll be out. It's a whole new thing, new bots. It looks so sexy, Tom. This new website, you got to see it. Performance, everything about there. So that being said, go Bitcoin. We are kissing on 98,000 right now. Let's go. See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.